What is up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all are doing good. Hope it's a fantastic day. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to easily do shadow towers on hard, specifically not Weeping Prophet, Spiked Walker. The easiest way to achieve this is at least being 5,000 power rank. When I did it for the first time, I was about 5,500, give or take a little less. So let's run over here. I gotta go to where the shadow portals are. One thing that I do want to mention is you are going to need at least one jump pet. The jump pet that gives you 8 jumps and 8% more physical is really good to have. You're also going to want Death Defying, or any type of flask if you can keep yourself alive. Also, there is an emblem glitch in the game where you can get all the emblems. As of right now, this is going to be patched later on. You want to have the Martial and Sure Strike emblem at least, and I want you to take a look at my physical damage now, because that is actually going to be doubled in hard shadow towers. For people who don't know, you get a 50% bonus. And then you at least want to have your class gem. If you're a shadow hunter, this is a good way for shadow hunter or any ranged characters really to do this. Like I was saying, you really want to have the jump pet. I use the 8% physical one because it helps me deal a little bit more and finish them a little bit quicker. Also, to do the emblem glitch, you click on one of the emblem slots, you go up and you click show all, and then you click on the emblem that you prefer, and it should put it on there for now. And like I said, as of right now, you want to do it, just for a little bit more benefit of getting a little bit more damage out, but this will be patched here within the next month, I would say. Now, the easiest way to do this is in a room like this. This week it's actually pretty easy because you start off with Candoria enemies. So all you really want to do is you just want to jump above their head. Now, just for the video's sake, so I could get it out a little bit faster and get through it, I just landed on the ground, but you would originally just keep jumping above their head, and that's really good for having the jump pet. And on this character alone, when I run a different pet, I have about 8 to 9 jumps. If you don't have a dragon, you'll have like 7, so it's a little hard to get around. Also, having the potions with Sure Strike, it increases your crit hit chance by like 20%. And then Martial Emblem increases your physical damage by 250%. So, Sure Strike activates for 10 seconds, and Martial Emblem activates for 3 seconds, and then you have to pop it again or whatever. So, also, as you're transitioning into rooms, if you do get hit and use a flask, or if your health's low, just go ahead and hit that rejuvenation station just to get your health back up a little bit, because you don't want to start these things with low health. So in here, I just kind of scan the area really quick, and I look for little things to jump up on. You can do this in group towers, you can do it by yourself. It really does help out, even in group towers. If you're by yourself, you're the last man alive, it does help out because all the enemies kind of group together, and they're a lot easier to kill. Now, these guys, they're a little weird. They've got a mechanic to them. As you see me sliding there, one of them actually has a vortex ability that he keeps using, and then the thing to the left actually takes my jump away. So you want to watch out for those if you're going to jump up. You also want to watch out if the enemies are got that around them, because you're not going to be able to jump around them. Also, one thing that I can say, if you're trying to get your flux back for opening up the portal, you'll make from 250 to 400 flux doing this. Just try to pick everything up as you can. Now, what I was going to say about the other guys, Harambe here, for instance, he's got another vortex thing I do believe that he uses. One thing about them is when they do their sword spin, they're going to reduce your damage for as long as a sword spin, and it's roughly about 5 seconds. That totem you always want to make sure you delete. Always kill that totem, because when it bursts, it actually heals the enemies a decent bit. I think we were running it earlier with 3 Shadow Hunters, and I had no buff at all. And it was just crazy because he gained almost half of his health back. So as you can see, I was low on health. I didn't have a flask, I think. So I went ahead and hit that. So as I was saying about the other guys, they have a mechanic called Thorns. And what that is it reduces your damage as they, you know, do a spin or whatever. So you kind of want to try to get them to a position. Being up high eliminates them really spinning. If you're close to them, they'll start to spin. So if you're up high, it's a lot easier to kill them. Now, I will say this does not really work good with melee characters, because melee characters have to be super close. That's kind of obvious. So as we're going to the next one, you'll kind of see how there's little lights to the left. Now, I'm just going to wipe the enemies really quickly and get them out of the way, because all I want is the 2 main bosses. This is a super easy way to kill Harambe, or you know, these guys. Now, some rooms, as you can see, he had a flame on his head. You really want to organize and kill them first, because they actually set you on fire, you and your team on fire. So you want to go ahead and get them out of the way, so you have less deaths and less damage to deal with. Now, also turrets that shoot you, you want to kind of get those out of the way. And as you move on, some rooms, as like this one, there's really nowhere to jump. I tried to jump up on the left, and Harambe actually came up and got me like that. Another thing is, you'll see me jump all the way backwards. That's a good place to be. Some rooms have water coming from the ceiling. You can sit and jump infinitely in water, and you can get those out of the way and go ahead and wipe them. And you know, as you're doing this, just kind of remember, if you're not at least Mastery Rank 100, that should give you max flasks, which with Death Defying is like 17, and I think with Elysian Bandoiler it is 25. So if you don't have nearly that much, you kind of want to manage and reserve your flasks. Now, I will say this is just to kind of help people who are new, who have not run this solo. Just little tips and tricks to kind of help them do it a little bit easier. I do know people will carry you through these for free. Now, on the actual Spiked Walker, now you'll kind of see I was messing around with something. So I was kind of letting time go up, and then I was like, oh, you know, I gotta do this. So you want to start Shadow Walker, and you want to pop a flask immediately and start hitting him. He'll go down into that form and do a blast, and then you'll get a little bit of DPS out. Now, I was kind of standing here because I was still messing around with whatever, but what you want to do, I'll move up in a minute here. I know I get a little too far back, but you want to put your back against this wall and just shoot down to him. And you just want to keep jumping and keep jumping. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to put his spikes outside of the wall so that you don't hit them. Makes it a lot easier. And you just keep doing this over and over. Now, when he goes to roll, about 50% to 25% he'll lay down like that and go to roll. You kind of want to stay up in the air, but if you do get hit, just try to manage your flasks a little bit longer, and try to keep your back against the wall. You don't necessarily have to do this wall. I just did this one because it was the closest to me, but you can do it on any other walls. But he'll end up putting the bottom spikes, if you can see them right underneath me, he'll put those outside, so you don't actually hit those, which is nice. So as you're starting to progress and get him further and further down, now I will say this, if you can get Radiant Shards, or even if you manage to get 10,000 power rank with Stellar Gems, that it'll be a breeze, a walk in the park with that. So as you get him down and you finally kill him, then you have completed the hard tower solo. So anyway, guys, I hope this helps you a lot. Leave a comment down below telling me if it does help you, or you know what needs to be done or whatever. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed. Later, guys.